Full body tracking with only IMUs has been becoming more and more popular lately. While SlimeVR based trackers are the most common, there are other options. This is Uni-Motion, a compact full body tracker based only on IMUs that runs on its own software. Heavy asterisk. I was sent these things for free to try out and review by Uni-Motion, but that does not have a sway on my opinion of them. Before actually using them, I was pretty intrigued. Typically, a tracker like this connects to your computer via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but Uni-Motion comes with a dongle. The trackers were pre-paired to this dongle, so when I plugged it in and opened the software, they showed right up. This really simplifies setup over other trackers. Uni-Motion also doesn't have a built-in battery. It uses AA's, so if you run out of battery while playing, you can just pop the old one out and put a new one in. I can see why some people might prefer this, but I've personally found that most IMU trackers have very long battery lives, and I just find having to use AA's more of an annoyance than anything else. Those two things really set Uni-Motion apart from other trackers. You want to know what else does? Their god-awful software. What order would you open stuff in? Personally, I'm inclined to open Uni-Station before I open SteamVR. But when I do that, oops, SteamVR crashed. I should have looked at the documentation before trying to set up the trackers, so maybe that's on me. But I personally can't think of a single good reason why opening that software before SteamVR would cause SteamVR to crash. Once I finally got it working, I found that the tracking quality actually isn't that good. Look, I know I shouldn't be expecting Vive tracker levels of tracking out of these things, but like, when I'm sitting like this, and the trackers think I'm actually like this, great first experience there. The reason this happened is that by default, the trackers had their magnetometers enabled. This can be great for helping prevent drift, but if you're in a bad magnetic environment, God help you. What causes a bad magnetic environment? Pretty much just having a lot of metal and magnets around. Depending on the headset you're using, having this enabled can be an awful idea. For example, Quest Pro controllers have magnets built into them, and if you're using a Quest 2 or 3 head strap with hot swappable batteries, chances are the battery attaches with magnets. I also know a lot of external microphones attached to headsets with, you guessed it, magnets. So just turn them off, and everything will be fine. It should be easy, right? You just click a button, and it turns them off, right? Well, once again, consulting the documentation, you'll find that if the trackers are on when you change a setting, it doesn't actually change the setting. After figuring that out, you'll finally be able to turn the magnetometers off, and the tracking still isn't that good. Even putting aside software stuff, you're just very limited having only 5 trackers. Typically with IMU-based trackers, you'll want a waist tracker too. It helps out a lot. But you don't get access to things like foot rotation because you don't have trackers on your feet. And while you can just buy a set of 6, I personally think it would make more sense for Uni-Motion to drop the set of 5 and just offer a set of 6 instead of 8. I just also haven't been able to get the best tracking with Uni-Motion. It has some of the worst drift I have ever experienced with any IMU-based trackers. I'm talking 10 to 15 minutes at best, and recalibration ain't easy like with slimes. It's 2 steps of posing in a specific way, every single time. My legs also just never feel like they're in the right spot, no matter what I try and do. And the tracking in general is just very floaty. Thankfully, that's all with Uni-Motion's software, and you can use their trackers with the SlimeVR software instead. And the tracking is better. I attribute this to Slime having way more robust calibration methods and settings. Since Slime knows the proportions of your limbs, you're just able to get way more accurate results. Don't expect any miracles in terms of drift times, though. The ICM 20948s these things are using just aren't known for being the best when compared to stuff like BNO85s or LS6 DSVs there and a lot of other trackers. I find it very hard to recommend Uni-Motion trackers in their current state. It's $237 for 5 trackers, which compared to many SlimeVR based trackers is more money for worse IMUs. Their software is barely usable at best, and even when paired with SlimeVR's software, they aren't keeping up with other options. I suppose they have the niche use case of having the connection via a dongle or the swappable AA batteries, and I guess the casing quality is a little bit higher than what you would get with something that's 3D printed.